everyone, it's Monica and Konrad from Grow Roots Homestead, and welcome to part 2 of butchering a pig. We got half of a pig from a local farm, and in the part 1 we portion the pig, so make sure to check that video as well. We're gonna link it in the description down below. And now we're going to work with the specific cuts, and we're going to mince some of the meat, and we're gonna keep some of the meat for ham, and we're gonna do ribs as well, and yeah.
So like Monica said, we primed our half pig in the first episode, so make sure to check this one out. So we have it all cut in the fridge, nice and safe. There's no rush. It's super. It's definitely stress-free doing it this way. So if you're gonna attempt doing it yourself, and I would definitely encourage you to try it, you need to make sure that you have enough space in your fridge. Technically, you want separate fridge. Basically, it could be all domestic fridge. It doesn't have to be fancy catering, commercial kitchen style fridge. Any fridge that holds the temperature to the kind of requirement, so that is kind of below the 5 degrees for the meat. So you can put your cuts inside that fridge. They don't have to be hanging. You can put them flat. You can put them on the tray, in the trays, on the shelves in that fridge, as long as it fits in, and you can close it, and you can relax. You can go get your cup of tea, and you're gonna think through what you're gonna do with each individual cut, so you're not rushed. You're not gonna make silly mistakes, and you can do it next day if you want to. If it's gonna take you a lot of time, do it next day. There is no rush, and they're like, it's not a butcher shop. No one's going to judge you how you're cutting. I make massive mistakes in the first one. Well, massive mistake. If you ask any butcher, he will tell you it was a massive mistake. When I start to cutting the ham off, I should go for the second disc from the back. I didn't. Even I knew I should supposed to, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So we want to talk to you about why we're doing it. Why are we not going to go to the shop and just buy pork ready on the tray, wrapped in plastic, lovely packaging, and it's ready. It's ready. It's cut for you. You can go just slap it on the pan or in the oven and you can eat it. First of all, we live in the countryside. I don't really fancy driving every second day or every other day to the shop, even if it's only 15-20 minutes away from it. We don't have a time. We have a busy lifestyle over here between market garden and homestead, and now homeschooling our son, because kids are homeschooled these days. So we don't want to go to town every other day, and you want to eat your meat fresh. When you go to the shop, that meat is already in the supply chain for a while. For some meats, it's even a little bit good. They need to be aged, like let's say beef. They need to be aged. They might be even get better with a little more time. But the most important thing is we want to know where the meat that we are eating is coming from. So that's why we are raising our own meat chickens during the summer. That's why we're raising our own sheep. And that's why we're not raising our own pigs yet.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. So that's why we bought half pig from local farmer, from Trish Butler, from Butler's family farm from County Kilkenny, and we're cutting into the cuts, and we're cutting into the cuts that will fit our family requirements. So if you're not doing some fancy cuts, just cut it, whatever. If you we like mincemeat.
Oh yeah.
We eat a lot of meatballs and spaghetti.
Burgers.
What's called schnitzel. And that's why we need mincemeat. So yes, we need other cuts. We're gonna go for pork chops. We love pork chops. And we're gonna leave the belly for the bacon. We're gonna try to cure the bacon. We'll marinate the bacon and try to do that. But for the rest of the back leg and the front part, the shoulder, I'm just gonna cut it up into the bits and just put it through the mincer.
Yeah.
We have our mincer over here. You can see how we got it online. It's Caterlite mincer. It wasn't expensive. That expensive was.
Oh, it's a bit over 200 euros.
Around
between 200 and 300 euros.
Right, it's supposed to be the good one. You can get one way cheaper, but it's like with the wine. You go for the second best at least. So.
And if we'll have a full pig, we'll definitely do some sausages. It's just because we only got half of a pig, just to kind of try it and see how we like it. We just don't want to go into doing more different.
We never worked with that amount of pork.
Exactly.
We had the whole deer, we had the whole lamb, and that was fine. And this is the next step up for us.
Definitely. So if just mentioned that Konrad mentioned that we are eating our own chicken, sheep, lamb, and deer that we buy from local hunters, and we stopped eating pork about a year ago, I'd say.
Over a year
ago,
and why is that? I encourage you to do some little research, and if you're gonna look through on the internet, you can find the pictures of how pigs are raised these days, and it's not pleasant to watch, to be honest with you. So when you're gonna look over there, look on your own, make sure there's no kids around you, because it's just brutal. It's savage conditions for the pigs.
And even before we knew that pigs are raised in enclosure and whatever. And one day, a year ago, or over a year ago, we watched the Food Inc.
I think it was a Food Inc. documentary.
And there was a short clip of how pigs were treated during slaughter.
Even the raising of a pig and the slaughtering of a pig on the massive commercial scale is just brutal.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So from that time I said, no, we are not buying any pork, and as much as we miss eating pork, Konrad came up with the idea, let's order pork chops from Trish.
we came across Trish, I don't know.
Don't worry.
Just talking to people and being small, as we are small local growers, farmers, we came across her and we tried some pork chops, and wow, the difference.
Delicious.
It's like with our veggies.
Delicious.
Once you try it, you can't really, and it's the same as pasture raised eggs, you can't really go back. Yes, it is more expensive, but it's like you're getting what you paid for. And it's well worth.
It's the same with chickens. The chickens we raise, they cost a lot of money. The feed is very expensive.
Feed is expensive.
If you
organically.
if you can't really buy a bulk, a ton, or even more, it's so expensive. It's very expensive. But we know the value, how good the meat is, and the nutrition value as well.
The difference in the flavor and the nutrition value of the animal that is raised that way, that is raised outside on the grass. So if it's chicken, and scratching and eating the bugs and seeds and grass, or if it's hog, that the pig that's is rooting through the through the grass, eating some bugs as well, because those animals, both of them animals are omnivores. So they need to eat everything. They like us, like humans. They need to eat both meat and vegetables in order for them to develop in proper healthy animals and taste good. Right? It's a different between the ruminous animals like cows and sheep. They need to eat grass, but as well they need to eat grass. They shouldn't be eating grain. Cows are not designed to eat grain. They actually suffer from eating grain. They can bloat and all that. But anyway, going back to pork, we can talk about that for ages, guys.
I'd say so.
We can talk, but we encourage you to do some research about how the pigs are raised, and then do some other research to look for some small family local farms that are raising the pigs on pasture. And I'm sure if you can look for it, you can find it, like we did, and you can order it. And order and like try it, treat yourself, get just a small bit, whatever is your favorite, just get it, and do the same you can do the same with a cow or a sheep or a lamb, yeah, and just try a little bit, and you're not going to be disappointed. The difference in the flavor is just outstanding. So that's why we're doing it. And the other thing is, like, these days a lot of people think that, you know, the animal comes in already pre-caught on the plastic tray wrapped in the cling film from the supermarket shelf. It's not. It's a very long process and a lot of steps for that to happen.
Exactly.
And because of there's so many steps, there's so many people that need to make profit on it, that the quality of the meat is suffering, and the quality of the life of animals are suffering because of that. So what we're doing, we're going back to the basics, back to the past, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah, like even my parents, they were raising pigs and they were butchering pig.
Yeah.
You know, in a local farmer's sheds, you know,
and that was probably the best sausage.
That. Oh.
I remember that back. Oh, that's going back
Like sausage.
almost 20 years ago now. I would say almost 20 years ago. Yeah. When we first started to date, I had the pleasure of trying some sausage from Monica's parents, and they were, oh wow, amazing. Anyway, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get our pork chops cut. So if you're doing it, cut them to whatever thickness you want, not something that it says on the internet. If you type in what should be the thickness of the pork chops, no, do it whatever way you want to do it. And then we're going to cut the rest of the meat into some bigger chunks for ham. We're going to try to do 1 or 2 bits of ham, and then we're just going to thickly slice everything in a kind of stewing pieces, you can say, and put it through the mincer, and that's it. And you're going to get a time lapse of that. So let's go to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, first thing is I'm going to cut my chops. So it's definitely way easier to follow the discs on the spine of the animal, but then I'm going to end up with the chops that are almost 2 inches thick, 1.5 inches. And we don't like the chops that thick, we like them much thinner. So what it means is I need to go make my cuts through the spine. Just make sure you went through the bone in a straight line. That's it. So this is your bone, and you have your skin with the fat. So, and then again, you leave as much fat as you like on it. So we have separate containers for everything. We have separate containers for whatever we're going to put into the mincer. We're going to separate container for whatever, for all the lard, all the fat.
So basically what I'm doing now over here is that's the shoulder, that's the front of a pig. So I already cut another 2 bits of ribs, what they call the short rib. And the reason why they call the short rib is because they come in from the shoulder and they much shorter, because when you cut it they're only that long. So that's your short rib. And then I'm going to get another bit of loin over here that usually goes in as your roast, and I'm just going to cut them as I go along. I'm going to cut out all the bone and we'll see what we're going to do with it. So you can see what I'm doing now is basically I'm dicing all the other cuts, some part of the shoulder, so basically dicing them into the kind of 2-inch bits, something like this, something that will go easy through the mincer. So if you have a really nice fancy mincer, you can probably put the bigger bits into it. Oh, we don't want to kill our mincer. And the best way to do it is mince it twice. So what you do, you put the coarse plate first. That is basically mincing the meat much thicker, much coarser. And after you've done this, then you put it through again with a smaller plate, so you get a nice finish then. We got 1 or 2 cuts that we want, the rest, most of it is going to be minced, and we're going to do some hams as well. And then you see Monica is packing it in Ziploc bags that can easily go into the freezer, and we usually pack around, we put half a kilo, just over a pound in the bag. We found that works for us. That's what we kind of will have for dinner. Okay, so we have all the shoulder done, processed. We kept whatever we wanted to keep, and Monica is mincing the rest. And now from the back I got, see, that's our back leg. So I got the front part of it off. Basically I got the back trotter off. I got that lovely piece over here. I don't even know where that came from. That's going to make a nice roast. Then from the front part of the ham, whatever that part is called, if you know, please put it in the comments down below. I got those 2 lovely bits. We're going to make them 2 small hams, to tie them with a string, and we're going to make them our usual honey, mustard, cloves. Oh, they're going to be super delicious.
In cider.
And it's going to be cooked in cider and then in the oven. For you first cook it in cider and then you put that glaze on and put it in the oven. Delicious. Now that the rest of the ham is still a little bit big, and we won't be able to eat that much at once. So what I want to do is I want to still shorten it, remove a little bit of that leg. When I'm going to end up with that part, I'm going to take the bone out, I'm going to debone it, and then we'll see what we left with. And we're probably going to end up with another 3, maybe 4 smaller hams like this. So when you buy your ham in the supermarket for Christmas, you see some of them are massive, like this. If you have a big family, if you're a smaller family, you go for them small ones, and that's what we want to go for. Okay, after a long struggle, I was able to do it. Bone is out, skin is off, and I know I butchered that pig. I butchered that ham, but it's not the prettiest job, but we're still gonna eat it and we're still gonna enjoy it because the flavor is there. So basically, like I said, it's really big, so I'm gonna divide it into the smaller parts, and yeah, because it's way too big for us. So, as you've seen, from that one leg, we got two smaller hams.
One small, two big ones.
One even smaller. There's going to be some mince, and I'm going to get the two big ones that I think are too big for us, or they're just about.
This one might be okay.
Yeah,
But the other one
you need to weigh that, and you tell me too. I need to pass it or not. Okay, we finished it all. We have we weighed everything what we have, so we got a lot of mince, pork chops, one or two cuts for roast, and we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 hams. Five bits of ham.
Lots of bacon.
Yeah, and the bacon and ribs, short ribs, lard that we're gonna render, and so the pig was, when we got the pig, was 34 kilo, and so after the processing we ended up with 24 kilo. So basically 10 kilo is all your bones and skin and that sort of stuff. That is, so that actually came up to us just under €7 per kilo for free range pasture raised pork. That is amazing. And we actually had a tenderloin yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was delicious.
We had a tenderloin, just pan-seared tenderloin for dinner last night when we finished last night, and it was amazing. The flavor of it tastes so nice and porky, and was just so nice and tender, soft. Just amazing. So we're definitely looking forward to eating that pork now in the next few months. Yeah. We finished up over here, did all the deep cleaning and scrubbing and everything, so it's nice and clean. Yeah, the meat is already in the freezer. What we wanted in the freezer, what's in the fridge, it's in the fridge for the next couple of days or something. Yeah, so definitely something that we want to repeat, do it again.
Yeah, actually very easy.
It was, but in fairness, we did, before that we did our lambs and we did the deer and we did the chickens and everything. So if you're kind of familiar with the process and all that kind of handling meat, it's okay. If you're doing it first time, it might be a little bit scary, but at the end of the day, it's all going to be eaten and it's going to end up in the plate and you can mince it all. So I definitely make one or two mistakes when I was cutting one of the first few cuts, but you're learning by doing it. I'm definitely one of those people that I learning by doing it. Even if I read it or watch it, I got something, but I need to do it myself to really learn the process. So yeah, so definitely looking forward to eating all that lovely, nice healthy pork.
Pork chops.
Pork chops, yeah, I can't wait for the pork chops and the bacon and yum. So
we're gonna finish this vlog part 2 now.
if you didn't see part 1, you have to make sure to watch the part 1. We're gonna link it in the description below. Yeah.
Comments, let us know what you think, and
tell us what your
Yeah.
Tell us what's your favorite cuts on pork and stuff, and are you maybe raising your own pigs, and yeah, that's it. So comment it down below, hit the like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.